pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. I have a statement to make first though. After receiving advice and input from the MTA pertaining to proper protocol and procedure for public meetings, we will no longer put an individual on the agenda. The agenda contains only business pertinent to the running of the township. The public can speak during public comment. We ask you raise your hand, be recognized, stand and address your comments to the board only. The board is under no obligation to answer, as this is not a question and answer session. It is time for the public to be heard. If there's something specific you want an answer to, please put it in writing and submit it to the board. Thank you. Okay. First item on the agenda is the minutes. Again, the board receives these prior to the meeting for review. We could do all three, except the minutes of all.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for regular meeting and a special meeting.
Support.
Okay. Jen Tino made a motion to accept. Sarah Hutman made a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Carried.
Motion passed. Treasurer's report. There's copies up here if anyone needs any.
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report. Authorize payment of bills.
Rob and Henry made a motion to authorize report and authorize payment of bills. John Jitman second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. We have a clerk's report tonight, please.
Okay, so there is an election May 6th for Meals on Wheels. The permanent ballot list is in effect, so if you signed up for that, you won't get an application, you will just receive a ballot. And those will go out on or about March 22nd. If you are still on the AV application list for May, you will still get that, and that will be phased out after the May election. If you have any questions, of course, you can talk to me. The other thing that's going into effect is the Earned Sick Time Act. We found out that elected and appointed officials are not, that doesn't apply to them, they're exempt. What it means is you get 1 hour of paid sick time for every 30 hours worked. That's Michigan-wide, temporary, seasonal, full-time, part-time, any employees in the state of Michigan. So for us, it will pretty much just apply to the transfer station, to Hannah, and cleaning the hall, because everyone else is elected or appointed. Okay, I think that's it. I have one very short and prepared statement here. I just want to read so I don't misconstrue anything. The past 2 board meetings have put me in the position of having my work and my character questioned. The presenting issues seem to be biased minutes, so from this point forward, no public comment information will be recorded in the minutes. If anyone would like something entered into the historical record of the township, it can be submitted in writing and it will be received, date stamped, and filed in the official minute book. This additional information will not be distributed at board meetings nor posted on the township website. And this also came from MTA. that this is within our rights to do this, to avoid what we've been dealing with.
Okay, thank you. Okay, petitions and communications. I don't think we have anything except for the ambulance contract. There's a couple minor immaterial items that I had. So move on to committee reports with the fire department. Missy, you got one?
On January 11th at about 6:30 in the evening, the fire department got their first iPhone crash alert on their I Am Responding app. We had heard about it from the Lakes Fire Department. They had one and nobody forewarned anybody about it. And we're still not really sure how it works, 'cause at least we don't have iPhones, but, what came across was that it was on the South Laird Road and there was snowmobile engine coughing and sputtering noises or something. A couple of firefighters went out. By the time that they got there, a trooper was already on the scene. And what happened was the man on the snowmobile fell off his snowmobile, and it must have, like, the impact of it must have hit something on the cell phone to set off that alert. But he was okay, and he was just going back to his cabin. So the trooper said to go back. But that's all I have.
Missy, maybe you wanna give this to Al. We have for the fire hall, there's a payment due not till May 1st. $3,000 on the principal and $1488 on interest for $4488. And they may wanna look at that and pay more, to pay that down. So that way you have till May 1st, the fire department can review that.
And that could go in the budget, Missy?
Okay. I'll leave it. Thank you.
I'll give you enough time. Thank you. Constable report, Paul?
I did annual liquor inspection at the Church of the Valley, all good there. And, after that blizzard we had, storm, someone plowed just pushed snow onto the driveway at the ice rink on management, so I can deal with that.
Thank you.
Maybe a little more work, but that's it.
Anything else, Paul?
That's it.
Maybe I'll bring this up now. Zach let me know that we have some special kind of stupid thief in our community because second year in a row they cut with bolt cutters, cut his lock off the little tool shed on the back of the ice rink and didn't take anything. There's just hand tools in there. They're there. So, for what purpose, I don't know. Is it worth putting it on there? He moved them temporarily, but they just cut the bolts off, threw it up in the snow. He didn't take anything. So if anybody knows who's up to mischief, let us know and see if we can stop that.
Isn't there a camera back there?
I don't think it catches that part of that. It's probably from the fire department, but I don't know if they would catch that backside of that.
There's one in the back.
I wonder if there is.
There's one in the back if you look. I mean, they have to walk. You'd see the person walk into it.
Who has I don't have the viewing of it.
Yeah, you could, no one could read that, it's
Oh.
such a mess.
It's not, okay.
It'd take you a day to try to find it on the system they got.
If Al knows,
Yeah, if he gets a
Time
chance to
frame.
look at it and, we don't know. I could ask Zach, it was probably within the last week.
yeah, if Zach can narrow it down, it'll make it easier for Al to look it up.
So. Okay. Transfer station report, Hannah isn't here, but she didn't have anything, it's been okay. Her heater's crapped out, so we got her new heaters, I know that, so. And the dumpsters have been emptied now, and I did tell Waste Management, please tell us if you're not going to make it, so we can post it before 8 AM on the day of. So, they're supposed to do that, I'm not guaranteeing it, and that was what I was told, yes, we'll let you know. Okay, Laird Rec report?
Okay, first I'd like to start off for, thank Chris McKim and his family for donating a cross-country ski trail groomer. I guess that they had it at their place, and so now the nature trail is groomed for cross-country skiing. And we've been having open skate on Tuesdays, and that's been going real good. And then we had a Sweetheart Skate last Sunday, and that went really good. When I went there, we had a bake sale and a bunch of kids on the ice, a bunch of smiles. I have to say I was a little disappointed, even though it was on Facebook and the sign was up for over a week. The ice was not shoveled, and I personally had to shovel the walkway to the restrooms.
Yeah, I contacted him about that, and there was a little miscommunication, so
I
he did
shoveled
get
the-
them
I
then.
shoveled the front door, I shoveled the wood pile, and I put the fire going.
Yeah, I know it was warm when I stopped, and that's when I found out at 2 o'clock that it wasn't clean, so. We had a little discussion about that. Thank you, guys, that did take care of that rec committee, appreciate that.
Okay, and that went very well, and our meeting is on Monday at 6:30 if anyone wants to attend that. And then, the Copper Shores grant is looking good, and the rec committee's working towards getting that. And I'd really like to thank my wife Denise for helping us get that. You know, it's, $40,000 plus going to this community. And, we plan on removing the old asphalt and the boards and replacing the
Sheeting.
the sheeting, yeah, the sideboards, and replacing the asphalt with cement that isn't all cracked up, and, you know, we'll pour a little lip on it so it'll hold water. And, plan on siding the warming shack and getting new windows and doors and putting a little cement pad in front in case someone came with like a wheelchair or something, they would have access to it, so. You know, to say that there is going to be a matching funds portion, and I heard verbally that you guys are interested, but, you know, I would like publicly for you to say.
And I can actually, I'll respond to that now. I talked to Mary Jo Munch today and asked her, knowing the scope of this job was gonna be increasing dramatically, how much more they would want from the township, and she said we didn't have to add anymore. That we could use whatever we started with if we have more funds, and if they're needed down the line, they'd let us know. But she said at this point, we didn't even have to increase our donation.
Okay.
Knowing that
What
it's
great
gonna,
news.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's really good
So,
news,
yeah.
so I'll just put that in here, add it farther down the line, but yeah, she told me that today, that we didn't have to change that dollar amount at all, which I suspected we were going to have to.
You would think, matching
Yeah.
funds or whatever.
So that was from her today, so
Okay,
that was good news,
excellent,
yeah.
And then just one thing, there was like I haven't followed up on it or anything yet, but there's a HARD grant for like security cameras and safety features. I was wondering if we could get new bases for the rec field, the ball field. Someone had slid in there, got stitches, and it's been a concern of many people. I've heard many people complain about it already, you know,
Okay,
so trying to take care of it.
yeah,
And, I would say that's it for the rec committee.
alright. Yeah, you guys are doing a good job, thank you, and I'm anxious to hear where your budget comes in, so we can go, that's good news.
Never ready for Monday.
Yeah, good. Okay, thank you. Assessors report, Jim?
We got the last of the board of review members trained. That was Johnny. He did it on 11th of February? No, before that. Anyway, we got everybody's trained and ready to go, and I've got the board of reviews. The organizational meeting is March 4th, and the appeals meetings are the 11th and the 13th. The 11th will run from 9 until 3, 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. And the 13th runs from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. And that's all I got for you.
Okay. Alright, thanks, Jim. Alright, we will open up to public comment. Anyone have public comment? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Ryan, I missed the Adams Committee.
We had our meeting on the 22nd of January. It ended up getting cut short, due to the accident over by the River Gate in Monts. We had briefly, talked about the transfers, farther than the 100-mile radius that we currently cover. We had talked a little bit about doing it on a trial basis, you know, not jumping into a contract with the hospital. The hospital is open to either purchasing another ambulance or splitting the cost of another ambulance that would be dedicated solely for long distance transfers. Talking to the gentleman at the hospital, he said the issue a lot of times is they'll call for a bed in Marquette and they'll have beds available, they just don't have the people, the staff to take people in. So a lot of, even like Sonville, coming from Mountain out in there going Escanado, Wausau, Green Bay, you name it. Like I said, our meeting got cut short, Gary had to split, Corey, the board director, he had to split. So our meeting ended pretty quick and we were just about to get into that and then following that was the contract and we didn't get it really into either one of those. But I believe we do now have the contracts were sent out, I think the following Monday. But other than that, I don't have anything.
Okay, thank you. Okay, sorry, now we can go on to public comment. Deb?
I don't know if this computer.
Deb, would you stand please? It's just hard for people to hear, sorry.
John and I discussed the possibility of getting a porta potty down at Ice Creek, for our four-season trail and our summer activities there in the playground. And I don't know if we were gonna consider that a new business or discuss it.
Well, when I talked to him, by the time they would deliver that, it would probably be like into next week. And if we're gonna have it for a month, I mean, do we really realistically get snow, or have ice through March, you know? So I don't know that it's feasible for this year. And what we'd like to talk about maybe with the fire department is there a way to put like a space heater in that bathroom area that could just be used then, so they wouldn't have to have a hall open, you know, for some future things. But the only problem with that is, I know Al wasn't crazy about it because of the fact that it can only be done when there's somebody there to attend it, because people have a habit of vandalizing, and they've already had to clean up after public has been in there when it was not supervised, and they don't feel that's their job, and I don't blame them. So there's something we probably could look for the future, but I don't know if it's gonna be feasible for this year to put it in.
$1,500 for the full year to have that
Mhm.
porta potty there.
I think it's cheaper in the summer. Winter time is because they charge more because they physically pick up the whole thing. They bring you an entire new unit. You know, there's not just pumping in as they go through. So, you know, we can probably visit a few things for next year, but I don't know that it's gonna happen this year.
And then maybe perhaps for the summer, we could have something there then? I mean, I'm thinking like a little playground there,
Mhm.
little kids playing, you know.
Yeah, it's true, the concession isn't always open, and we hate to leave them open
Well,
for the
even
same
if-
reason.
Yeah, it's not feasible to leave the bathrooms for.
Well, let me
the
check what the
fire
prices would be then for the summer to have something in there, and we can
hall. And especially
revisit
when-
that
when
for our
we're
budget.
trying to advertise that as a four-season,
Mhm.
area, recreation area, you know, for pickleball and skating
The bathrooms
and
have.
hiking.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'll check what they would come up with then if we did something like that for the warmer. I know it was cheaper before. I can't imagine it went up that much, but let me check. There's several places that do them, so I can check.
It would make it easier to use the place, you know, especially when the fire hall's not open.
Okay.
Thank you.
That could have been actually into the committee report rather than doing this, I'm sorry, so. Anyone else, please? Please,
I just have
and
something
Chris.
I'd like to read. I would like to thank the Laird Township board members for their service to our community. The last few meetings have been difficult, but through it all, you kept your focus on governing our township. To Clark Henry and Treasurer Kreinak specifically, thank you for everything you do for the township. Successful elections, responsible tax collection, effective township operations take a lot of hard work and dedication. I sincerely hope you don't resign based on the demands made at the January meeting. I, for one, am very grateful for all you have done and all you continue to do for the residents of our township.
Jeff?
Okay, mine comes with a visual aid, so I'll pass it out. So I talked to you about about, well, my wife asked about the hall rental report. And there's a discrepancy in there that's, I would just like to go on record that I wanna fill out a Freedom of Information Act for the records of this. You might not wanna answer my questions right now from what was said, but if you look, there's two glaring inconsistencies there. And I would just like to, fill out a Freedom of Information Act and be put on the agenda for next month.
Okay.
Unless you wanna answer questions though.
No,
What's
I
your
mean,
question?
if
What's
the
the variance?
concern is again about me, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, so if the hall rental's $100, why are you, after the fact of asking, you know, the last meeting, you know, the hall rental, all of a sudden you paid $200 afterwards?
That's when I saw Nikki next to make the payment for our township, our Thanksgiving.
She rents it for
For
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving?
Do it for
Yeah.
2 days.
And then how about the, mileage reimbursement for $200?
That shouldn't be mileage
That must be an
reimbursement.
error.
That was an error
It's
typed
marked.
in. It's in the account for rental. So,
Okay, well, I'd still like to see the cancel check done, do a Freedom of Information Act on that.
You need to file for that.
her cancel check, you cannot have a cancel check with her bank account information on it. Absolutely not.
Nope.
Why are you I mean.
Well, it looks pretty bad, doesn't it?
It's for hall rental.
I mean,
No,
looks
it
bad.
doesn't at all. She rented for 2 days, $100 per day for Thanksgiving weekend.
Okay. And then mileage reimbursement?
It shouldn't say mileage reimbursement,
If
Nikki.
you look under the memo, it says hall rentals. I must have accidentally, because when you put it in, it has it memorizes the last one, so if she was paid for.
Hey, if it's my mistake, it's my mistake.
Well, you're not getting her cancel check.
It's your mistake. I can guarantee you it's paid.
Yep. I'll third that.
How did it get passed? I know you don't have to answer this, I'm just curious going,
You weren't recognized to speak.
oh, well then I'll wait my turn then.
Anyone else public comment?
Are we gonna talk about the demand letter? I'd just like to go on record.
It's been in. Anyone else? Chris?
Yeah, next time that I start talking, if you don't want me to talk, it'll be you, not you telling me, you're not the supervisor. Secondly,
Don't point at me again. And
No
don't
problem.
threaten me again.
I'm not threatening
Leave me
you,
alone.
I just told you exactly what your
Don't
position is.
point at me again.
I'm not pointing at you, my pen is, have a great day. So secondly, the mileage reimbursement would have never passed an audit. So your entry from 2023 is invalid. So do you use QuickBooks?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So is it online or desktop?
Desktop.
So, there'll be a FOIA for the logs for that entry submitted.
Okay.
Because if you would have had the audit done correctly, if you signed off on the audit, that would have never passed an audit. This is what I do for a living.
So we have not had,
We
have not had 23 and
I wasn't sending it
24.
to you. I was sending it to the board.
You were
So,
saying it to the board, and I am a board member who handles the QuickBooks, so I am answering you because I would
Sure.
know this more than Pat would.
Well-
We have not been audited for 23 or 24 yet. We have,
yeah, I
we
know.
are audited every other
That
year.
brings up another thing. I don't know if the township people in the township understand how close you guys are to getting fined every year because your audits have been late for the past 7 years in a row. Does everybody know that?
Right, that's why we're
I
hiring
will, I
an
will address
auditor.
that, and that's, we brought up last month.
Yeah.
We're getting a new auditor because the auditor that we had,
That's been signed off on. And the auditor that you had was
Yes, I know.
2 years, if I remember. Is that how many times you had that last auditor? Was it 2
No,
years?
we've had him for over 20 years.
Okay, so for 20 years, you didn't pass for 7, and you let
We
it go?
passed. It
No,
was
you
just
didn't
late.
pass.
Yes,
No,
we did.
No, I could pull, I'll bring it into the next meeting. Laura actually had, you had delinquency
Right,
notices 7.
we passed. Yeah.
Did you or did you not have delinquency notices on them?
We actually did not get delinquency notices, the auditor was getting them and not us.
Right.
Once we found that out, we made a change,
And it is being addressed.
and we were very
We have
transparent
the
with
new
that.
So
contract.
2023 hasn't been audited?
Correct, we have
Okay,
every
that's-
other year.
Yep. Thanks, Pat.
Anyone else? Public business, public comment?
I'm just curious with the rec committee saying that the ice rink wasn't cut, is that part of Zach's job to take in shovel for events, to be notified?
Yeah, you know, I don't think we actually put it on there, but that has been the case, is if you're maintaining the ice rink and there's an event.
So is that
You
the
have to
job
clean it.
description?
We have maintenance of the ice rink in the job description, yes, and if there's an event, that should be, and, like I said, I talked to Zach.
Yeah. I mean, I was told the night before to open the doors to the bathroom. That's all I was
We
told.
talked about it,
Yeah.
it's clear now where we stand. And, yeah, it does say snow removal and maintenance in that bid, so, but we're clear.
And would the back fire hall be under plowing or, cause that fire exit wasn't shoveled for a few months.
Okay, we'll make sure that's taken care of then too, by the toilets, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other public comment? Okay.
Fire hall, that's not plowing.
No,
That's always been plowing.
Going through the bathroom and then, shovel on
okay, who wants to take care of it?
it. Good job.
Well, that'd be I mean, if he's taking care of the fire hall, if I don't have to go shovel or do anything at the rink for a month and that gets blocked up and there's a fire or something happens and I can't use an escape exit, unless I'm gonna go there and have to shovel it every snowfall, that'd be up to you, I guess, what you think. I think it'd be easier with the plowing.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it after the meeting, both of you come and see me, please, we'll get it straight, thank you. Okay, no more public comment? Alright, thank you. Old business, Copper Shores meeting, we already discussed that, that's moving forward nicely. We had the special meetings for the approval of the legal fees, the minutes were discussed and approved. Then we had the one for the approval of legal correspondence, which was sent, that's been discussed and approved. We have no comment on the legal action because we have not received a response, so we have nothing for you on that, I'm sorry, it's undetermined at this point. Our deadline was 5 o'clock tonight, so we will have to wait and see. New business, moving on, AED grant, I'll let Robin speak to that a little bit.
We applied for, from Superior Health Foundation for another AED. We were awarded one for the Township Hall. So that will be shipped out within the next week or so, and that's that. And then we applied for another one for the fire hall, but that was not approved because they're only sending one per, nonprofit at this time. So she said we can apply next year.
And we can to decide if that AED is more needed at the fire department, or that rec area, or here, by, whatever everybody feels would be more appropriate, useful wise, so. Once it comes in, we can go there. We received our ambulance contract dated January 1st, 2025 actually. And it is at $61 per citizen, at 487 citizens, is $29,707. And we had, about 26,000 in there now, and the new tax collection will be coming in. So we do have the funds for this. I would make a motion, we sign the contract, get it back so that our services are not interrupted.
I'll support.
I made a motion, John Jitman support, roll call vote, I'll do. Henry,
Yes.
Prynack,
Yes.
Gentinen,
Yes.
Hiltonen,
Yes.
Spencer, yes. All ayes, no nays, motion is passed to approve the ambulance contract. We will get that signed and sent back. Next month we will be doing our budget, so we'll keep in mind the things we talked about with the rec committee, where they're going, and I'll keep in touch with Mary Jo Munch too, in case things change on that. And then if you guys, I don't know how soon you'll have money, or numbers together, I should say, for that ice cream.
We should have it by Monday.
Good, cause then we'll kinda know, and they'll have an idea too where we're going. And,
Those
we
are all
can-
the things we planned on, so.
Good. And then we'll work on what we can see to do about bathrooms for that four season area, maybe we can work it together with that. Is there anything additional we need to put into the budget this year that we know of? And not that we know of yet, huh?
A new tabulator for elections. They have a deal right now that they'll do $1,000 trade-in. They've come a long way since we purchased ours. We wanna
Okay.
make sure with 3 more elections this year that we have our
What
bills.
is the lifetime of those? I mean, how long have we had these?
I'm not sure.
We have to look at it. Hey, it's been a while though, right?
The new one's about $5,700, like 56 or 5,700.
And then they update them, so you have to get them. We'll look at how old the other one is just for the heck of it.
Sure.
See, that was $1,000 back. on the
Yeah.
account.
Yeah. So we'll,
Which takes it down to 5,700 then.
so we'll put that in the budget under the elections when we're reviewing that, right? Okay.
For the budget, is it possible maybe to get a couple of like rain barrels for the Nisswa church,
Oh, yeah, you
for the
talked about that.
cemetery? Just for people to be able to water. I know that when I clean up there, the water that comes out of that spigot is,
Oh, these,
I bring my own from home, but it's hard to keep going back and
Yeah.
forth.
problem there, it needs to be flushed every now and then, just go up there and turn it on, let it run for an hour or so, 'cause it's all galvanized piping.
Yeah, and I actually told Tom this year, or whoever opens it up, let it run for a while and flush it out, but why don't you just see what they are too, and just give us a number for that, please.
Thank you.
Another item for the budget is, the fence around the ball field needs to be looked at.
Oh, that's
So,
right, that backside you said is bad, huh?
Yeah, there's no point letting that fall in, and then we gotta buy a brand new one, when we can just put a couple pieces of wire on it and fix it,
Alright.
put a little paint on
And you mentioned that before, I think I have that in the notes already.
it. We didn't spend any money on maintenance this year.
Yeah, one item for the budget. Paul last year donated sand for that. I think we should probably put it in the budget this year. Mud walk rate it with him when he goes out there and dumps it.
Yeah, he does a lot of donating. Maybe Paul could submit something too for that. It's nice that you donate, Paul, we appreciate that, but still, every year is a lot already, so. Okay, yeah, the ball field, I mean, it's well used, so. Okay. Thank you. There's one little other quick thing I have, the Cuba Fire called me and they came and did the inspections already yesterday. So a couple of people asked me about doing private citizen ones, I left them a message to see if we have enough interest, if they would do that, so when I find that information out, I'll pass it on, see if we have enough interest to, designate a date for them to come down, and I'll pass that on once I have that. Okay. I have nothing else before this board. Can I have a motion to adjourn? Brian, made a motion to adjourn, and a second.
I'll second.
Adam having a second, all in favor say aye. Aye. You adjourn at 7:03. Should I, use your pen, this is like a marker.